Hello and welcome back. In order for Donald Trump to help restore America to the values that most of us would like to see return, you must first, by you I mean each and every individual American, must first develop and restore their own self-responsibility. Now you say, what does this mean? Everyone can define self-responsibility to fit their own personal perspective. But I'm talking about the personal self-responsibility that helps you do the right thing at the right time all the time. I know this is difficult. I've been talking about it for 2 years through my videos, and I wrote about it in my books, Slow Down and Love. The objective of my books was to get the individual to realize that to worry about tomorrow or worry about the next minute isn't going to help you unless you take care of the present moment by doing the right thing. Now, most of us are angry at our situation right now. We're not happy with what's going on, especially if you've lived as long as I have and have seen the changes take place. And we see this current generation, this me first selfish generation, addicted by this disease of selfism where they feel entitled to what they want when they want it and at this moment. Something maybe connected to the internet, because the instant gratification that a lot of them get through hiding behind the screen of anonymity allows them to pretend and be players in this world. And when they get out in the public, maybe they're still pretending, maybe they're still playing, who knows. But the real world is a rough world. It isn't easy. It's got a set of rules, set of regulations. Other than those set by the government, there's a primal rule that when you're dealing with an individual on a one-on-one basis, you must be responsible for your thoughts, your deeds, and your actions, or suffer the consequences. I believe Donald Trump is trying to convey this to the Americans that follow him, that he understands this responsibility, and he's going to try and restore the values and the convictions and the mores and the standards, the way of doing it the right way. And the right way is to respect yourself, respect others in all you do. Our founding fathers said that the Creator has endowed us with all of us with inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Nothing more. Life gives you the opportunity to make decisions. However, circumstances of birth do affect your course in life. It determines your race, your religion, even your wealth. If you're born into a wealthy family or you're born into a poor family, it affects you going forward. So the self-responsibility that I talk about is the opportunity that come your way, or the opportunities that come your way, that you do the right thing. The right thing is to respect others, get a good education. Education is something that no one can take away from you. And most of these people that are out there rioting and demonstrating, I don't think respect themselves, or they would respect others and allow them the freedom to speak, and allow Donald Trump to have his rallies unencumbered. This last one they had, I saw in California, where many of the Latinos were there, saying, give America back to Mexico. Well, Mexico needs to give it back to Spain, or to the Aztecs, or the Mayans. Things change. What has happened in the past has happened in the only way it could have. Where we are at this moment in time is based on our individual decisions and the decisions of the civilization or culture that we live in general. So to say some of the stupid things that they say at these protests or riots is absolutely ludicrous on face value, and shouldn't even enter into the world of politics these days. Now, I understand our politicians are terrible role models because they lie and steal and cheat as much as they can. And that's been throughout history. I was a history major, and I can trace it back to the beginning of organized government. And that's because self-responsibility, the individual who holds a position of power or control, if they're greedy or if they're selfish, and they can justify any ways or means to get their desired ends, will do the bad thing, thinking they're doing the right thing. The right thing is what Jesus told us all to do, the golden rule: do unto others as you'd have done unto you. Love the Creator, love self, love others. If nothing else you take from any of my talks, it should be this standard, this mandate. It's a mandate by the Creator. It's a mandate by the universe. It's the karma. You send out bad stuff, you get bad stuff. What goes down goes round. If you're a bad person, it'll catch up with you. Living 72 years, I've been able to see this take place in many, many cases. And sad to say that there is such a thing as karma. It has affected me. It's affected many of the people I've known in my life. Last time I told you I was just recovering from my second bout with prostate cancer. And I realized that the stress, the strain, has developed certain ailments that in fatigue and lack of desire and lack of drive to do things, and I keep making excuses. Well, I'm declaring right now that I am going to take the self-responsibility to develop the will, and I want the will, and I will the want to do the right thing to get myself healthy again. So starting today, as I go forward, and each week, I hope you'll see a change in me as I regain my health, regain my energy, regain the spirit to do the right thing. Now, the American spirit has been degraded to the point where it is not holding us together. It was that spirit of the founding fathers and of the original pilgrims that came over here. They wanted to find a better life. Now, we have the best standard of living in the entire world, and even our poorest are better than the richest in some countries. And we fight over climate change, and we argue over incidentals when we're facing right now the worst terrorist possibilities that your imagination can bring forth. And I think Donald Trump wants to help America be great again, but he needs the help of each individual to do that. And the only way you can really help him and help America and help your family and help your friends is to help yourself be a better person than you are today by just doing what Jesus said. Do unto others as you would have done unto you. So if you can take that one thought from this discussion, I know it might be a little schmaltzy at this point, but if you really stop and think, and if you even look back over my other discussions, and even if you download my free book, Slow Down and Love, on my website, it'll help point you in the right direction, and the right direction is towards self-enlightenment, self-truth, self-realization that you are alone. You are by yourself from the day you're born to the day you die. Now, as my end draws near, which my last bout with cancer made me think about, I said, man, this thing can end for me right now. You got to step off this planet, and things will continue to go on, and those are the things that I'm talking about. I don't want my grandchildren or my children to face the unknown out there, the evil, the dark side, the worst possible scenarios that could happen, because random evil can wreak havoc when least expected. So please go forward from today with self-responsibility, with self-love of everything you do, by doing the right thing at all the time, or at least trying to do it as much as you can. So until we meet again, Godspeed.